Buckle up, guys, because we're about to learn about a very influential figure in nursing.
Her name is Jeanne
Mance.
Jeanne Mance.
Jeanne was born in 1606 in Langres, in the Champagne region of northeastern France, to Charles and Catherine Mance.
Wanna fly, can you take me far away? Give me a star to reach for.
When Jeanne was in her early 20s, her mom died prematurely, therefore she had to take care of her 11 brothers and sisters. This was her first taste of taking care of a bunch of people. Also, during her youth, she experienced a lot of death from epidemics and war. And as a result, she dedicated her life to being a nurse in the 30-Year War and later in New France.
In her early 20s is when she began devoting her time to religious charitable groups, caring for those who became ill and injured from the war.
What's the 30-Year War, you may ask? It started in 1618 and went until 1648, mostly taking place in Europe. It began due to political, territorial, and religious controversies. From King Ferdinand II pushing his Roman Catholic influences to Poland attacking Russia, there were many disputes. The geography of Europe was greatly affected over this war, and with all these men fighting, thousands of them became injured, and Jeanne Mance began her nursing career caring for them.
When Jeanne was in her 30s, she heard from her trusted cousin Nicholas about Marie-Madeleine, Madame Chauvigny de la Peltrie, a wealthy woman who had left France to found a school for native girls along with 3 Ursuline sisters. The Ursuline sisters were a missionary group devoted to God, and they learned the native languages of the Aboriginal people of New France and educated the native children, mostly girls, about Catholicism and taught them how to read and write in French.
Jeanne then met Angélique de Bouillon, another wealthy woman who wanted to open a hospital in New France and wanted Jeanne to be the one to found it.
She said, and I quote, "If Jeanne found it, I fund it."
Jeanne consulted with her priest and ultimately decided to accept Angélique's offer. And so Angélique presented Jeanne with the funds for the feat, which is thought to be 40,000 livres, which in today's standards is a lot of money.
In May of 1941, Jeanne sailed for New France, where she intended to be a nurse and found a hospital, but ended up contributing so much more.
In 1642, Jeanne participated in the founding of a small town named Ville-Marie, which would later become Montreal. She did this alongside Monsieur Maisonneuve, who was also from the Champagne region of France, and he later became the governor of Montreal.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
Unfortunately, at this time, the risk of being attacked by the Iroquois people of New France was at an all-time high. Jeanne Mance was constantly in danger of being attacked as the area surrounding the hospital had many Iroquois groups living near it. In 1643, 6 of her fellow colonists were attacked alongside Jeanne. 3 were killed and the other 3 were taken hostage. Although Jeanne was very determined to help the Huron people of the region avoid these savage attacks as well, she was unable to care for them because she was preoccupied by founding the Hotel Dieu.
Her roles at the Hotel Dieu not only included primary nursing care, but also being the hospital's administrator, taking on the roles of overseeing and shaping the future of the hospital.
The construction of the Hotel Dieu started in 1645.
In 1662, Jeanne was recruited to the Notre Dame Society by Charles Lalemant to improve the Catholic Church of Montreal, in which she also recruited others from Montreal and France to be part of this organization.
Jeanne returned to France in 1649 to convince sponsors to continue funding for the construction of the hospital until 1650 when she returned to New France. In 1651, Jeanne offered a significant amount of money she was given from Angélique de Bouillon to Monsieur Maisonneuve to help him stop the violence inflicted by the Iroquois people on the citizens of New France by raising French troops.
She again returned to France in 1657 until 1659 to seek financial assistance in the construction of the hospital, once more after loaning money to Monsieur Maisonneuve, as well as to recruit nuns to work at l'Hôtel Dieu.
Jeanne passed away at the age of 67 in June of 1673 after devoting her life to caring for the sick and wounded of New France. She was buried beside the original Hotel Dieu that she founded. Her statue still stands outside the original Hotel Dieu in Montreal, which, since its original construction, was burnt down and rebuilt multiple times. until it was relocated to its final resting place at the base of Mont Royal. The Jeanne Mance Award has been given out through the Canadian Nursing Association, CNA, since 1971, and to recognize the outstanding and influential work of nurses in Canada.
From the start of her nursing career in her early 20s till she became ill and unable to work, her last administrative act was in January of 1673, which brought her long, influential career to an end just months before her death in June of that same year.
Gee, that was a lot of information.
Sure was.
Should we summarize?
I think so.
Let's. Where was Jeanne from?
Northeastern France.
Why did she become a nurse again?
Well, her mom died when she was young, so then she kind of had to take care of her other siblings. So that kind of sparked her compassion for taking care of people.
Then she volunteered in the 30 Years' War and got a first taste of caring for people out on the battlefront.
Yeah.
Then she moved with a pocket full of cash from Angelique de Bouillon.
Yeah, she moved from France to New France.
Okay, to open up a hotel, was it?
No, to open up a hospital. It was called the Hotel Dieu, which is a direct translation. It means God's Hotel.
Oh, okay. Wow, this girl deserves an award.
She has one, actually. The Jeanne Mance Award is given out to exceptional nurses.
So she was really religious, eh?
Yeah, she was a very, very religious woman. Her relationship with God is really what drove her to help others. And her mission was to show people, you know, God's love and God's will by breaking down barriers and extending the hand of God by helping those people.
Excellent. Let's cut to a quote that shows how God influenced Jeanne's career.
There is nothing in the world that I would refuse to do to accomplish the divine and all-loving will of God.
Thanks, girl.
Thanks, Jeanne.
Thanks, Jeanne.
Thanks, Jeanne.
You're the man, Jeanne.
Thanks, Jeanne.
Merci, Jeanne Mance.
Thanks, Jeanne Mance.
Go.
Thanks, Jeanne.
Maybe she'll help me to untie this, but until then, well, I'm gonna have to lie to her. It seems to me that maybe